My name is Ali Al Dawood. I'm from the Eastern Province in Saudi Arabia, and my major is mechanical engineering.
My name is Majd Al Qatari, 18 years old. I'm from the Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia.
My name is Majd Al Harthi. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Taif, from Saudi Arabia.
Is Yazid Al Shamrani. I am 18 years old, and I am a SABIC student from the University of Delaware.
My name is Abdulaziz Al-Awaidi. I'm a SABIC student from Saudi Arabia, and I just turned 19.
I'm Abdullah Al-Afarik, a SABIC scholar.
My name is Abdullah Tahir. I am from Al Khobar, Saudi Arabia.
My name is Muhammad Al-Kanaizi. I'm from the Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia, and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Ali Mashkas. I'm from the West Coast of Saudi Arabia. I'm 18 years old.
My name is Mshari Al-Humaid. I'm from the capital country from Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, and I'm following a chemical engineering major.
My name is Abdullah Al-Bez. I'm from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and I'm one of the students of the University of Delaware for the foundation year.
My name is Bassam. I'm one of the SABIC scholars. I'm from Saudi Arabia, from Eastern Province.
My name is Ali Hassan Al-Zra' and I'm from Jubail Industrial City in Saudi Arabia.
My name is Ayman Al-Haji and I'm going to study chemical engineering. I'm from the Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia.
These 14 scholars traveled all the way from Newark, Delaware to Puerto Rico. We had a few goals in mind: learn a new culture and give back to the community. Puerto Rico is an island in the northeastern Caribbean Sea. The current population of Puerto Rico is 3.5 million, who are mostly descendants of the aboriginal Taino Indians and the Spaniards who followed Christopher Columbus when he first arrived in Puerto Rico in 1493. Puerto Rico stayed part of the Kingdom of Spain until 1898, when Puerto Rico became U.S. territory and was officially named the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. With such rich culture diversity and resources, we understood why the island was named Puerto Rico, which translates to the rich port in English. The land seemed full of natural resources, which made us wonder whether the richness of the land is a good reflection of the state of its residents in the present time. Nevertheless, the rich history and the cultural diversity of the island are what made this island an attractive destination for our SABIC group. We were all excited for what our one-week adventure in this tropical heaven had in store for us, and how the community service would change us.
Looking forward to gain a lot of experience from the community work we'll do in Puerto Rico.
For Puerto Rico, because it will be a utterly new experience for me.
I'm really excited about starting to do some community service and helping others.
This was the first time that an opportunity like this was offered by SABIC or the ELI.
I hear a lot that travel can change a person's personality, and I want to see how this trip to Puerto Rico and doing the community service will change mine.
I'm excited to discover and explore this new country and learn from their culture, community, or even their language.
Excited to try this new experience.
I hope I could make a difference when I go to Puerto Rico on this trip.
I really thank SABIC for giving us this opportunity.
The flight was long and tiring, but it did not kill our excitement that got further amplified when we landed in San Juan. We were all excited to see up close the nature that we got a glimpse of on the plane, excited to start off our journey, and excited to have all our questions about Puerto Rico answered.
When we first came here to Puerto Rico, I was impressed from the hospitality we received from the people in the community. We met Tyrone, our mentor and our leader in the Global Works. He was very helpful. He was always telling us that he would be always there when we need a question or anything about Puerto Rico. He would be there to help us and assist us and guide us to know more and increase our knowledge about Puerto Rico.
Well, welcome to Puerto Rico, man. We're leaving the airport, heading through the city, pretty much. Capital of Puerto Rico. We're gonna pass by it, not really see it too much, but we'll be able to see it a little bit later in the trip. The This is kind of the city where everything goes down. Lots of hotels, lots of stuff like that. Lots of people, lots of cement, as you can see. And we're gonna head to another town, which is in the city, but it's the beginning of the trip. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you learn something. Have some good fun, you know?
After getting a little resting time to put our luggage in our rooms, our instructor, Mr. Duarte, called us all in one room to explain in more depth what we were going to do for the following days. He wanted to make sure our trip would be as successful as possible by telling us that every person's actions would affect the rest of the group, and how our actions also represent SABIC, UD, and the ELI. After giving us all more detailed instructions about the trip, we all headed out into Old San Juan, which is a very historical area in San Juan where the Spaniards first settled in and built a wall to protect themselves. It was a nice short walk, but we did not get to explore Old San Juan much because we were going to spend more time there our last day, but we got to enjoy a nice dinner in that historical area.
And before sleeping, Tyron told us about next day's schedule, that we'll go and we'll visit some places in Puerto Rico.
Tomorrow morning, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be heading to the communities. We're gonna be doing a couple different activities throughout the day. We're gonna be getting you guys more situated about where we're gonna be working at. We're gonna go look at some projects that we've done in the past. We're gonna look at projects that you guys have, that you are gonna work on. We're gonna meet some people in the community. We're gonna have lunch in the community, meet some important figures, and maybe hopefully we can talk to some people so they can get a little bit of history about the community. And then after that, I have a couple things planned for the afternoon after lunch for us to go out and explore a little bit. And I've already been looking into some things for you guys to get a little bit more cultural aspect and a little bit more history and some cool spots for you guys to see a little bit more of what Puerto Rico is, where it comes from, and how people are here and things like that.
The first thing after going to breakfast, we went to the place that we will do community service in. And first of all, you can notice immediately that it truly does need some help. When we first came there, Jonathan, the coordinator of the town, gave us a tour to it, and we've seen a lot of rivers there, and the architecture, of course. It's not completed, but here's what he said to. He gave us a building that he said that we will do fixing it, and we will do some helping.
And I'm hoping to learn about obviously the Puerto Rican culture, but I'm also hoping to learn some new vocab if I could. And I'm also just here to give back to the community, guys.
So, simplemente voy a hablar en español para que ustedes aprendan el vocabulario de Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Y ustedes, sí. The work that Glowworks does, and you as a family, because we're basically a family now. We know each other, we're getting to know each other. But we probably think that what you do is small, and it's really not. What you kids do, what we do, it's actually a very big impact on the Villa de Rio community and in Puerto Rico. Why? Because while many other people are just pushing everyone around and just forgetting about other people's needs, you take from your time, you take from your dedication. Maybe you guys are studying, I'm sure you guys have families, I'm sure you guys have other things to do, and you take from that, forget about yourselves, forget about your own needs, and come to Puerto Rico and come to Villa de Rio to help us. So what you do is a very big impact in this community. And when people see those white vans coming up, they're like, oh my God, help is coming. People are coming, they're gonna come to work, they're gonna come help us, we're not forgotten. Right? So you guys make a big impact, and don't you ever forget.
One of the things we saw today was the communities and the community service that we're going to do tomorrow. And I have to say, I'm really excited about that. I really want to give back to these people and the people of Puerto Ricans. And I was also able to see how the challenges that they were facing here, and how hard their lives are.
So what we do is we throw the sand first, right? After we throw the sand, we throw the cement. So we're gonna be working in a roof, so it has to be a lot of cement so the sand and the whole mixture could be strong. So we're gonna tell the mixture over there. So it's just basically sand, we throw the cement on, rock, and we mix it all up. It's so easy. It's really easy. You guys are gonna see. It's so easy, okay? This shovel, the way we're gonna mix is swinging, right? You move, you use your body, you use your knees, you also use your arms. Your back is just where your arms are gonna rest. You do not use your back like this. You swing it. And whenever your shovel is in the sand, in the dirt, in the cement, in the rock, you twist it as you go in. Twist it as you go in. I told you I had a lot of alarms. You twist it as you go in. That's it. That's how easy it is. It's really easy. And the water does all the work. Hint.
Heading to the beach was the best way to end our second day. We had a lot of fun. Luckily, the weather was in our favor. We did not have to worry about it ruining our fun on the beach. The only thing that we did have to worry about was our work the following day. The first day of construction work in Villa del Rio. We worried about whether we would be of any help to the locals, whether our small efforts would even slightly change their lives for the better.
Today is the third day in our trip in Puerto Rico, and it marked the first day of our community service project. What Jonathan told us yesterday really encouraged us to come excited to work today. He said that the small actions we make have a huge impact on people's life there. We came here to Villa del Rio, and our goal was to draw smiles on people's faces, as well as helping the community. That goal we had motivated us to work harder. When we heard about the process of building the roof, we indeed underestimated it. It turned out to be a really tough mission.
So we woke up this morning all excited and ready to do the work, and we had breakfast in the hotel, and we were ready to roll, and we got in the van.
Really excited and motivated. We headed straight to Villa del Rio, which is the place we are going to work on the building.
So we came here and the house was halfway built, so we're working on the roof.
We learn how to mix the concrete, which contains sand, cement, which called in Spanish cemento, and water.
Tyrone and Jonathan, who are helping us from the community service, taught us how to mix it, showed us how to, and helped us throughout the day on mixing them and making sure that it's mixed correctly.
It doesn't leave. That way we don't lose water, we don't lose cement, and the mixture is strong and doesn't lose strength.
All right? You guys are in the line. Bring a bucket of water. We wet the mixture so it could get wetter faster, right? Here.
When I first came here, I didn't think much of it. I didn't think it was hard. I think it was, you would do it very quickly and fast. But it turns out that it truly does take hard work to do so.
The challenge is this weather. It's really, really hot and sunny and humid, which is it makes the challenge even more hard on us because we are building the roof, so we don't have anything to shade under.
Watch out.
At first I was like, this is so easy, but then when we got to the real work, after we mixed the cement and we started to add the water, it got really heavy and it got really hard.
Majid, what do you think about this?
Hard and tough, but it's cool. I think we're doing good, so I'm enjoying it. So, yeah. And as you can see, I'm really dirty now, but I'm enjoying the work and I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like that I'm gonna learn a lot throughout the days that I'm gonna be here.
We're still working. We've been working for 3 straight hours. We only took a short break, like 5 minutes, and we drank some coconut, which was really nice and delicious.
For our break, the people gave us coconut right from the tree, and they cut it for us, and so refreshing to have after a long day of work.
Now I'm in my break in this beautiful sunny weather. It didn't rain like yesterday, so that didn't ruin our day, and I'm having fun with this coconut, and this is my break.
Ali? Whose water bottle is that?
Oh, David Villa. How is it?
Oh, delicious.
Delicious.
Slow and steady, man.
I felt accomplished because I saw what I was doing, and I was helping in the mixing and all of that.
Push harder there.
After that, one more little bit of rock. Up. Now, hold on. One more now. Ahí le llenan la viga esa que va a coger todo ese cemento.
I really enjoyed learning and working with these guys to build and enhance the quality of people's life here in Puerto Rico.
To give them the opportunity of living in better houses like all others people.
And we're looking forward to continue and to complete the job that we're doing and to continue helping people.
We feel very tired after doing all of that work, but the smile that we have drawn on the native people faces worth all of that work, actually.
But when we work hard and see the smile on the face, the people's face, we will get motivated and we will work harder.
Actually doing it is very, very difficult. It's really backbreaking, but when I think about why we're doing this, I become encouraged again and work harder.
All the guys have did a really great job, and we're feeling really happy.
After all that work we have done, we truly felt satisfied and accomplished. All of that hard work paid off when we saw the family's happiness looking at the progress of their work. Every time we shoveled, every time we pushed up wheelbarrow, every time we lifted up a bucket of concrete to the roof, we frankly felt delighted. After that long day, we went to the beach, looking forward to continue the work on the next day.
Here we are in day 4, which is the second day of work in the community. The weather was a bit rainy in the morning, but the rain stopped afterwards. Around 9 o'clock, we were in Villa de Rio. We had to start immediately, so we prepared the gear and wore the safety goggles and gloves. Because it was the second day of the hard work, some of us had sore muscles. But after all, we managed to do our job diligently.
So this is the second day of work, and we're pretty much doing the same thing, mixing concrete and lifting it up to the roof so that the people there could start spreading it out. But I've come to think more about what I'm doing and realize how a day in the life of a construction worker is.
We all have sore muscles and we couldn't work that well at the beginning, but then after we got used to it, after a couple of hours, we were able to complete the roof even better. And the group really came together by singing childhood songs.
Everything went so smoothly, and we all know the drill. We just add some sand and then put the cement on top and everything else and just put it in the buckets. So everything was easy. All the guys were singing, we were having fun. On lunch day, we talked to Jonathan. He talked to us about the economical status of Puerto Rico.
After 4 hours of working, we went to the community center, which was built by the government for the community's gatherings and meetings. We had to set up the tables and chairs for us and for the other groups to eat. After setting up the tables, we ate some authentic, delicious Puerto Rican food. Typically, we ate rice and beans with some tasty cooked plantains and some salad.
Mi nombre es Juan Pérez. Tengo 38 años.
My name is Juan Perez. I am 38 years old and was raised here in the island of Puerto Rico.
My name is Lydia Hernandez. I'm 38. I was born and raised in New York City.
Yeah.
First, like I said before, we lived in the land and in a little place. And when we found out about Global Works, we asked them to help us. And they didn't hesitate. We didn't know about it. And then they didn't ask for nothing. They pulled all the materials, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And my son started helping. And then out of nowhere, we saw something coming out of it. And it was so-called the house.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing. And then they said, oh, I need somebody to cook. Somebody was cooking before. But I was like, I'll cook. You guys have blessed me. And it's an amazing experience. And we started cooking, and it's a little bit that we're doing because they're doing so much.
Yeah.
Not only helping us, but the whole community. You guys have no idea how much of a blessing it is for you guys to be here helping us. Thank you.
Nosotros, mi familia, mi familia, estamos agradecidos porque nosotros hemos construido nuestra casita gracias a la ayuda de Global World y otras ayudas. Solamente con $600 al mes yo tenía que...
About why we cook for Global Works, or why we cook, like my wife mentioned before, is because we came here with nothing and we now have a house thanks to Global Works and the people who have volunteered here to make that happen. I was making $600 a month and had to build a house and sustain my family and do everything with that. So without Global Works and all the volunteers that have come from different school groups, we wouldn't have been able to sustain ourselves. So we are so appreciative
that we wish we could do more because our cooking seems like it is so little for everything we have received from Global Works and everyone who has helped us out.
Que nos ayudan, tú sabes, y por eso nosotros quisiéramos darle más.
While eating, Jonathan opened up his heart and talked to us about Villa de Rio's economical status and his point of view about the current situation at Puerto Rico. After the brief conversation we had with Jonathan, we realized how blessed and lucky we are. We now, as SABIC scholars, have a different perception about life and the surrounding environment.
Hello, my name is Jonathan. Villa del Rio is considered a special community. Why? Because people in Villa del Rio are not economically blessed, we could say it that way. So the people in Villa del Rio, like we said in the beginning, they invaded this place because they needed a place to stay. Therefore, they couldn't buy a house, they couldn't rent an apartment, they couldn't just go to San Juan and pay maybe $1,000 to rent a place monthly, or they just didn't have that money. So we work at houses that people that really need, such as Willy Bondo, such as the other group, San Francisco Day School, went to Tito's house. And Tito is just this awesome guy, but he works for everyone except himself. He's a contractor, and his house is not built. So it's ironic that a contractor is like a shoemaker whose sons does not have any shoes. So he works 5 days a week, and then he only has 2 days off, and those 2 days he works at his house. So it's a guy that's always working, so he needs to work so he could invest all his money in his house. And that's basically what Villa del Rio is. You work so you could live, you work so you could survive, and it's a big difference, living and surviving. It's a very, very big difference. My case, I'm 19, I go to college, and it's cheap tuition, but over here it's considered a little expensive, which is like maybe $4,000 a whole school year, which is cheap in the States. In the States it's like maybe 20,000, right? They don't pay us to study. Like you guys, they told me that's awesome. You have a great opportunity to take advantage. So sometimes, always, my scholarship never gives, so I have to pay over. Sometimes maybe $2,000 over. Our family gets maybe $22,000 a year. So try managing a family, son that goes to college, food, light bills, water bills with $22,000 a year, which is considered below average of a poor family, which is $24,000. So we're $2,000 short. And we receive economical help from the government. Excuse me. Economical help, federal, and we receive help. And even though it's not enough, even then it's not enough. So we're survivors. We'll go to the mountain and get some plantains and make tostones. We'll go and dig up, take a root, peel it, boil it, and it'll taste delicious. So this community is basically surviving. You survive. You fight to live. You fight for what you want, and you just put all your effort in trying to give your sons, your offspring, the best life possible. And that's what my parents do with me. So I work with Global Works. This is my first year, but I was 4 years volunteering. And we've seen many situations of families that simply do not have. And it's something that works in your heart, because when you go to a house and they open the fridge and you see that there's nothing in the fridge, or they have little kids and they have no milk for them, they have no cereal, they have no breakfast, and they have to go maybe ask for money or do a favor or do something because there's nothing. There's simply nothing. So just imagine you wake up one day and there's nothing in your house to eat, and you have maybe 3 kids. But you try to look for a job and no one wants to give you a job, because that's how the economical status is in Puerto Rico. So it's hard to find jobs, food is expensive, and you have maybe 2 kids to feed and yourself. What are you gonna do?
Sí, siempre he tenido planes de...
I have always had plans to go to the US because there are definitely more opportunities there than there are in Puerto Rico.
Sí, yo estuve como un mes en Florida.
My sister lives in Florida, but she has moved around a lot in the US, so I spent a month with her with the idea of staying and hanging out for longer. But I had to come back because my mother got sick and I came back to Puerto Rico.
Trabajo como limpiando patio, ¿sabes? Construcción con mi papá. Trabajé en tiendas de ropa.
I was working construction and custodial work and was working in clothes stores and summer camps, but the economic situation in Puerto Rico makes it really difficult to find a job. And I have been job hunting for about 2 months and haven't been able to find anything as of right now.
That's basically what Villa Rio is. So you guys are very important to this community. And GlobeWorks is very important to the Villa Rio community. And we want to thank you.
After eating lunch, we used our break to play basketball, football, and volleyball. That break refreshed us physically and mentally, hence we resumed our work with high energy and motivation.
We played a basketball match together. We lost, but we had fun.
Then within just maybe like 14 hours or so of work, we did half roof of a full house. So I feel I feel really satisfied with the thing we've done so far, and only within 2 days or 1 day, it added for me as a person, and also it added to my knowledge a lot.
At 4 p.m., we finished day 2 in the community service project. We did not have much time to go to the beach because we had to pick up Maria from the airport.
During day 5 in Puerto Rico, we headed bright and early to the community site to work on the new house. The owner of the house, Candido Lopez, needed to have his porch floor fully cemented and to have the railing installed. This is because he said he fell out of his porch, hurting himself a while back because it was so unsafe. We anticipated that the work would be much less tasking than before and would not require as much physical effort. Even though the work was less severe, the whole group was not ready to take it easy yet. If anything, it was a reason to work harder and faster to finish as much of the floor as possible.
12 buckets, that's 1 wheelbarrow. 24, that's 2 wheelbarrows. 2 minis of cement. Spread it out. Mix it. And I'll be back. Alright, because I have to go to the other room. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna miss you guys. Alright. So 24. Don't worry. Sand. Spread it out. 2 minis. A little bit of water.
2 for the 24?
2 bags
of
cement, right? 2 for the 24 bags.
2 bags of cement.
2 bags of cement only for 24 buckets, alright?
Then water,
Full
mix it?
buckets. Water and mix it. Don't put a lot of water because it's not going to be mushy.
Okay, no problem.
Alright, I'll be back because I have to spread it out, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Trust you guys. You guys can do it?
Average money that they get yearly is like 20,000, which is below the poverty line, and which is kind of $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. And learning about that and how they're big families, because like John, for example, his family, they're 4, and they only live on that, $1,200 a month. Knowing that we get more than them, and I'm just like 1, and my friends, it's like $1,500 for us, and we live on our own. We don't have a family to feed. We don't have a family that we need to take care of them medically or educationally. So knowing about that, we know how blessed we are, and that kind of gets us to know how that people here are suffering, that they lack money, and that it's hard for them to get educated. Because like even though it's not as expensive as in the United States, but still paying $4,000 yearly when their income is just $20,000, that means like quarter of what they get is gone for education. So it kind of makes me understand more and be more mature, and to know that not everyone is blessed as we are. And it gets us to think that we should be helping them more and trying to support them.
It is feared that this economic situation would worsen in the future. That is why Johnny and his family work day and night to make a difference in at least this community.
No water. We're gonna pre-mix it first. Just all put it in the middle, a big old mountain.
Jonathan told us about how he goes to his university. He goes down the street, then he hitchhikes to the bus stop, then he takes the bus, and then he goes to another bus, wherever the bus takes him, and then he walks for like maybe a mile or so, and then he arrives. So he has to wake up really early to get ready and then goes to university. And I don't have to do all that. I live near my university, and even if I didn't live near my university, I can just take a taxi or Uber or whatever, or call one of my friends. And that showed me how blessed I am and how privileged I am, and how the community here have to work really hard to get educated, and how we SABIC scholars are really blessed with the scholarship we got, and how we're really lucky to get this opportunity.
I'm 19, and this is a tough job, but since I could manage this and I could do it, then they gave me the job. If you're 40 years old or if you're 30 and you may be stronger than I am, you had more experience than I am, but if you cannot do this job well, you're not gonna get it. So it's what you can do, what you can dominate, and that's how you get chosen for certain things.
When we finished the last day of work, we said our goodbyes to Johnny and his family. We were really motivated to work hard in this day to give as much as we could to the community and Candido. After 3 days of mixing concrete with Johnny and Tyrone, we learned many valuable skills. We never thought that we could actually learn how to mix concrete. However, after all the practice we got, any person in the group can expertly tell the amount of cement, dirt, rock, and water that should be used to make the desired consistency of concrete. All in all, we concluded the day by going to the beach so we could unwind and rinse our bodies from all the cement one last time.
It's day 6 already, and our wonderful time here at Puerto Rico was almost over. But nothing would be a better idea than hiking in El Yunque, the only tropical rainforest in the United States National Forest System. We all had our hiking gear on and ready to roll in the very early morning.
What do you do if you're having a heart attack in the wild?
Just die.
Attempting to forget the reality that this amazing trip was soon coming to an end. In the hike, we were all challenging each other and throwing bets on who can make it to the top of the mountain.
So in the El Yunque rainforest, that was my first time ever hiking such long distances. We went up so many mountains, so many hills, and saw so much nature. When we reached the first tower, I was really excited to go up because I've never been inside such an antiquated, ancient ruins such as these. So when I went up the tower, I didn't know what to expect, but turns out it was just empty. And we went up the stairs, but it was really worth it because when we went to the top, the view was so amazing. It was an eagle view of the whole most of the island, and we could see a lot of the nature there.
Initially, everyone thought that he was capable of achieving that challenge, but soon until everyone felt how hard it was. The slippery rock made the climb even harder. Little by little, some gave up and could not make it. But all of us, with no exception, did not regret that challenge. And we all enjoyed the refreshing breeze and gorgeous scene when we made it to the top.
When we first reached the first tower, I was a bit tired, but when I see the scene from the top of the tower, I said I want to continue to the top. So we walked for a long time, and from time to time I was asking Maria about, did we reach yet? How long does it take? So when we reached at the top, I was happy to see the scene, how clouds surrounded my body, and how the scene was really beautiful to see the horizon and all of these things. And actually I stopped taking pictures, and I said I'm gonna live the moment at that time.
Right after the hike, we were awarded by an interesting adventure in the dark bay. Here in the bioluminescent Bay of Puerto Rico, where tiny microorganisms twinkle under the water when sensing any motion. Despite the exhaustion after the hike, we were eager to go through that experience, and when the instructions were given, the bay sounded like a piece from heaven to us.
We found that it was hard to kayak, with my partner at least, because we had to sync our movement with each other, and at some times we were about to fall down in the water, but we managed to try to not do that. When we went there, we saw the bioluminescent creatures, and it was quite unique actually, because I've never seen it before, and to see it in your own eyes, it was quite an experience that would never be forgotten.
On day 7 in our Puerto Rican trip, after many of us took the SAT exam, we went to the waterfall slides adventure. The leaders gave us instructions about the waterfall slides. He told us that even though they are fun, the slides can be dangerous, and that we should always follow his instructions. After that, we started walking up the mountain. The trip was not easy, as we had to hike for 1 hour to reach the waterfall slide. On our hike, we learned some of the history of the forest that we were in, and we also learned some of the Puerto Rican cultural traditions. We also observed the multiple plant species that were native to that forest, and we also admired the natural beauty of the forest. When we arrived to the waterfall slide, we were afraid of taking that step. However, after our leaders slid down the waterfall slide, we were eager to slide down. We were all satisfied that we overcame our fears. The leaders also mentioned a challenge for those who were courageous enough to do it. He challenged us to jump off a 30-feet rock into the water. For those who did it, they felt the sense of accomplishment because they conquered their fear of heights. Overall, doing such adventurous activities has increased our confidence in a positive way. We did actions that we would never think about doing before going to this trip, which really made it unique. For us, this experience was one of the most memorable experiences that we have ever had, and will always cherish it.
So after a long, tiring, usual hike in the mountains, I was not really happy at the beginning because I didn't really know how the river would be and how the water would be. I was just walking, going with the flow, till we saw the river and how powerful the water current went, and we slided in the first one, and the water was really cool and refreshing. It was worth the hike and the long time we did. Then when we first finished the first water slide, I saw that high peak that's around 35 feet height, and I was thinking in my mind that I really want to jump from that height, thinking that it's just only a thought. Then I was really surprised by the guide who told me that anyone who's crazy in the group who wanted to jump from that height, just follow me. And I was really excited and eager to do it. I really wanted to just go out of my comfort zone because I was scared from heights. And I really broke that fear, and I jumped and I dived perfectly, as he said. And that was really one of the best experiences in my life.
Throughout the whole trip, I tried to lead by example. And so when we went canyoning, hiking through the water and over the rocks, I wanted to do the same thing. And so when the time came to jump off the 30-foot rock into the water, I wanted to be the first to go, to show the guys that anyone could do it, and to just remind them that even a 45-year-old could do something just as well as they did. So it was a great experience. It was scary. I'm very afraid of heights, but after a while I got up the courage and jumped, and it all turned out well.
Day 8, we the SABIC adventurers woke up bright and early for our last day in Puerto Rico. We had to be finished with packing our bags and getting into the vans by 8:30 a.m. While doing that, each of us was thinking about how it would be difficult for us to say adios to Puerto Rico, because we felt connected to that land, for Puerto Ricans welcomed us and made us feel at home. Those thoughts kept running through our heads. While doing so, we arrived and found Old San Juan waiting with a bittersweet smile on its face, knowing that it would be a farewell.
Alright everybody, well I'm Alvin, guys. I'm gonna be your tour guide for the Old San Juan tour, okay? We like to start here because through this route is where we're gonna cover a lot of main monuments, and most of the history of Puerto Rico actually starts right there, okay? The San Juan Bay. Alright, Christopher Columbus on his second voyage to the New World discovered and landed in Puerto Rico, and a couple years later, 1508, Juan Ponce de León is appointed as the first governor of the island. This is the area that they first settled. They actually settled on the other side, what's called Caparra or Pueblo Viejo, and in 1508 is when he was appointed, and he called this Puerto Rico. Alright guys, so this is the governor's mansion, and it's the first fort built in San Juan, in Old San Juan. This was built mostly for the attacking Caribs, okay? The Carib Indians around these areas were having a bit of an issue with Spanish coming in, of course. It was their territory, and they started obviously just right away building a fortification for this area. So the first fort, 1540, okay? All right, guys. This monument's actually one of the newer monuments that we do have, besides obviously the 1992 ones. This one's from 1971, and this just depicts what's called La Rogativa. The town started, getting a bit worried that they would starve. So the ladies of the town started doing a religious procession, a rogativa, okay, which is basically asking the saints. So at nighttime, all the women of the town lit torches. They started walking the town, asking the saints for assistance. And when the English saw all the torches, they thought those were Spanish reinforcements, and they fled. So it actually worked, all right? And the saints helped, and it was a miracle. And that's what's called La Rogativa. All right, you're gonna notice a lot of colors, lots of pastels, different colors. That actually started because a lot of the people working on ships were illiterate. So they started putting a paint or a color on buildings, just a green, a red, a yellow. So they would say take 3 streets down, 4th green one on the right. And then eventually that one little color started turning the whole building into that color, just to help people who couldn't read, the illiterate people, to find the buildings that they were going.
During our tour in Old San Juan, we have visited a lot of historical monuments and historical statues there in Old San Juan. Which gave me an imagination of how it looks like the ancient Puerto Rican villages and castles. During that tour also we had a tour guide which facilitated our tour there to make it much easier. And that tour was very beneficial for me, that I became more open-minded. I met a new culture, a new history, and I became more aware about a new history, a new country, basically. We ended that tour with having lunch in an authentic Puerto Rican restaurant, and finally we did some shopping there to get some gifts for our friends.
So here we are, at the end of our journey, just sitting in the vans, thinking about the good times we had in Puerto Rico, building houses, helping others, motivating each other to do our best, and thinking about the smiles we had on people's faces. Now we're looking forward to applying what Puerto Ricans taught us, to be humble, help everyone, and be thankful for what we have.
This kind of trips, this kind of journeys, this kind of experience would change that. Meeting other people, meeting Tyrone, having you as a teacher, having Maria as a coordinator, having Mishmash as a friend, that's everything. I mean, we've learned a lot. We did good, I think, all of us. We did a great job at the community. We served the poor people. At the beginning, we thought it's not that much, but when you saw the tears of joy in the people's face, it's just amazing.
Awesome.
I think this trip helped us to work as a team. The whole group worked as a team, like when we were working in the community. The whole group didn't work as a team before like this.
That community service we did really reflected in my personality in the short term, and I'm sure that it will in the long term. And the thing is that we all 14 of us here at Delaware, we've been here for 6 months together, but we're not really together. So that was a very good opportunity that brought us all together, and we worked as a team, as a real team. As well as we also had Maria and we had Mr. Scott, teachers of us and the coordinator of us, that we only was seeing them within our classes time or whenever we need help. But now we see them as not only beside being here for that purpose, for filming or whatever, we also see them and enjoy with them and talk to them, breaking that wall that we used to have. So I believe that was a very good opportunity for me. It shaped my personality in a really short way.
This trip to Puerto Rico was really great. I really enjoyed it. It was a really great opportunity to have. None of the other SABIC groups have ever had such a chance to come here to do some community service, learn about the new culture. For me, I feel that this trip was important for many reasons. The first reason, as some of the guys have mentioned, I've never thought that we as a group here in Delaware will ever be able to work together as a team. Well, we have always been kind of distant. We didn't have a strong connection, but when I came here, I realized that we're a great team, and it was really great getting to know all the guys better than I knew them before.
Well, I'm really grateful for this opportunity that we, the SABIC scholars, got to go to Puerto Rico to do community service and enjoy the nature here. I'm really happy that I got to do the community service with Jonathan and his family, and the mixing of the concrete and everything there was really hard and tough. I didn't think that I was going to be able to do that. However, I was able to do it, and I mixed concrete for 3 days straight, and I didn't. My muscles were very sore, but I kept going and I kept mixing and I kept carrying the buckets and I kept doing, and I'm very proud of that. And I think that I've learned many skills, not only just about how to mix concrete and how to build a roof or wherever, but also how to communicate with my friends and how to convey ideas and how we work together as a team.
What I learned the most in this trip is that sometimes the people who need the most help are the ones who don't ask for it. For example, in the case of Jonathan's family, he went through a lot with his family, and like how they went to New York and they couldn't find a place to stay, and how they had to go back to Puerto Rico, and how many 2 members of his family have to deal with cancer. Yet still, they didn't complain about their problems, but what they did is that they actually helped other people. They cooked for us, and he was volunteering to help people in the community. It was really strange for me to think about how someone who has so many problems and how that person could just devote a lot of his time to helping other people. And then I started realizing that, okay, everyone has problems and I have problems, so maybe I shouldn't belittle my problems and think about, but instead I should help others. I mean, we all have problems, so instead of saying, okay, those people are in worse condition than I am, I shouldn't complain. I don't think I want to think that way anymore, but instead I want to acknowledge my problems, but also like help other people, you know, just like, because maybe that's how I'm gonna be happy, I guess. And another thing I learned is I noticed the sense of community in Villa de Rayo, and how everyone helped everyone and how they all knew each other, and there was this sense of belonging, you know, like everyone knew where they belonged. And I don't know, I wouldn't say I felt that before coming to the US, so it's kind of a life goal for me to achieve that. So I think this trip made me realize more that that's also a thing I need in my life.
When I first went there, to me it was just like, I'm going there to help people who are in need, and that's it. But then after I started working and after I started knowing the people there and getting to be familiar with the place, it kind of changed. It wasn't only about building a house or building a roof or building a floor. To me, it was more of learning about their situation and getting to know them more. As soon as I got to Vega Baja, I felt familiar with the place because it kind of looks like my hometown in Saudi Arabia. So I was happy to see the place there and to be in the mountains and going up hills. And after a couple of days, after Jonathan felt comfortable to start sharing his experience with us, it was really touching for me, and it kind of made me feel appreciative of what I have, because knowing that there are like 4 members in his family and that they all live on $1,000 a month, to me that was, it kind of like changed how I think, because we get more than that in the US and I'm just like one. and it's only for me, and they have to pay for tuition, and SABIC is paying that for me, and they have to buy food, and it's really hard. So after learning about that, as I said, I became more appreciative of what I have.
I would say that the people we met in the community were very kind, very open. They were very humble with their hospitality, sharing their stories to us, talking about their situation there. So I was very satisfied from the opportunity we had there to get to know about Puerto Ricans, to know about the social conditions there in Puerto Rico.
I would say the 3 first days and us coming there, we only did work. We only did community service, physical labor work, and for me, it was the first time I've ever done that. So in a way, it kind of enhanced my personality and increased my responsibility to others. And I've managed to gain respect to others, because although it might seem easy at first, when you look at them mixing cement, for example, it's actually not that easy at all. It's very challenging and energy consuming. I have learned in this experience of doing the community service, first of all, how to acknowledge other cultures and not just kind of have a superficial understanding of them. And I've also learned how some things can contribute to engineering in my field. For example, how to mix cement. I didn't know how to mix cement, or at least I didn't know the steps in which you have to take to create cement. But we were able to learn that. We have built half a roof in 2 days, which I think is quite interesting.
Coming into Puerto Rico, I think changed me a lot. I think it made me appreciate what I have, and also made me open my eyes to the reality, and that I should volunteer more and help the people in need. And even if I don't get anything back, it's the experience and the journey that matters.
I was like, oh man, this is gonna be hard, and I didn't think it was gonna be hard, like physical work and all the stuff we had to do. I thought it was gonna be hard because it was just like, the first thing I saw was like, nobody eats meat or eats, beef or pork, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be such a headache, and these people are gonna be weird, and like, I don't know where they're coming from, like, all the names are like the same. There's like 4 people with the same name. Like, how am I gonna get to know their names? And it's just like, this is gonna be a disaster. And these people are just gonna be super weird, and I don't know, and that, I've tried to be an open-minded person, but there's some things that just society makes you think a certain way, you have like this ultimate like opinion, just a little bit of opinion how people are gonna be, and you guys exceeded, what I could have thought, like the little bit that I actually had of opinion of what you guys were gonna be like. You guys are totally opposite, and you taught me something, like I learned so much from all of you and from being with you in the last week that I didn't think I was gonna learn, and I think that's one of the things I love about doing this, is about meeting people, and especially meeting people from other places, because you guys help me educate myself to be a better person and to have better views and to have better way of thinking and understanding where you guys are coming from, understanding your culture, and I appreciate that.
Tyrone and I and a few of y'all were talking earlier in the week about the difference between being a tourist and being a traveler. And I think that this experience has really helped you to become travelers. Now, yes, in the United States, you're beyond tourists. You're students, you're exchange students, and you're living and meeting people and having a life there. But that's very different than going into a new country, a new environment, and to either become part of it or to just go through it very quickly and buy something and spend some money and then leave with it having no real impact on you and you having no real impact on it except for monetarily. And so I think with this experience, you have definitely achieved that traveler status. And I just hope that you keep that way of thinking and that mentality. And wherever you go in the future, not necessarily having the service learning aspect of it, but just trying to become part of that community in as little a time that you might be there as possible. And just being open to trying new things and experiencing new cultures and new environments and new people and new foods, and not just being stuck in what's comfortable, but exploring and challenging yourselves. And some of you were incredible, and you would ask the people working at restaurants, what do you suggest? And going with that. Or you would talk to the people in the community, and it would really affect you. And so that cross-cultural communication, that cross-culture integration really is what is at the heart of this experience.
With some of you guys, I was talking the other day, or yesterday, about the importance of broadening your perspective to kind of question yourself. And questioning yourself doesn't mean saying, oh, what I did before was wrong and this is the right way to do things. But it's taking a moment to reflect and saying, what do I think about this? Because sometimes we're just taught to think something or to do certain things in a certain way, and we don't ever question them. And questioning for me is the most valuable lesson I learned. Also, mostly living abroad, which I've done a ton of. So like questioning your perspective and saying, this is a different way of approaching something, or this is a different way of seeing something. Like, how could that change me? Or I've never thought about the way that I do this, So I think when Scott was talking about, changing yourself mentally, it's about constantly questioning yourself, And it's those people who don't question themselves and think that their way is the only way that don't ever grow, So I challenge you guys to that, to questioning yourself by exposing yourself to different perspectives and things. So, I don't know. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm done. But yeah. But great job, everyone.
Yeah, thank
great
you.
job.
So guys, I know this is videotape, but you guys have been the best group. So you guys have worked really hard. I've learned some Arabic. You guys have learned some Spanish. We've built half a roof. We're doing a floor. And you guys are just awesome with the work you guys are doing. People are very appreciative, and they're just happy to have you guys. So you guys have been awesome and the best group.